I don't wanna waste what's left. And on we'll go.
Hello, welcome back to my channel. Long time no talk. Wanted to come on here and talk to you guys for a little bit and let you guys know where I've been and why I've been MIA. So I was off work from the 20th up until January 6th. I was gonna be on vacation, and I say I was going to because it really was not a vacation. I was sick. I got the flu. Fernando, who is my son, who is 12, also got the flu. We both got the flu at the same time, and we were sick the entire time we were off. And I was sick pretty much the entire time I was on vacation. And Fernando is actually still not back to school. Today is, when I'm filming this, it's Wednesday the 8th. I went back to work today. I ended up taking an extra 2 days off, Monday and Tuesday, to stay home with Fernando because he, towards the end of the flu, he developed a sinus infection, so he was still running fevers. So usually if he can stay by himself, but not when he's sick like that, especially coming out of the flu, and I just did not feel good leaving him home by himself, not for the whole day like that, especially being sick. So I took 2 extra days off work to stay with him. Today he stayed home because he was supposed to go back to school today, but he spiked a little bit of a fever last night, so decided to keep him home today again. The doctor said to keep him home until he has been fever-free for 24 hours without any medication. So we're not there yet. Right now in the afternoon, he texted me. Yaya was with him today, but he texted me and he said that his temperature was 99.8. He actually sent me a picture of it. So first it was 99.1 and then 99.8 like 20 minutes later or half an hour later, and this was within the last hour. I told him not to take anything just yet because I want to see what his body does. I want to see if his body, technically I think doctors don't really consider it a fever until it's 100.4, but what I've seen on him is that once it reaches 99, I have to give him medicine or it just keeps going up. So I'm gonna check on him in just a little bit and have him retake his temperature to see if it stayed the same, if it went down, or if it went up, or if he needs to take medicine. I'm on my way home right now. So yeah, it was terrible. The flu, I've never gotten flu before, at least that I know of. Okay, so I got disconnected. It was actually Fernando who just called me. So what was I saying? So the flu, it was horrible, terrible. Nothing like I've ever gotten sick with before. It was the worst virus ever. I was already feeling sick the week of the 16th of December. I was that week I was just finishing up, I believe. No, I actually was put on antibiotics that week for a UTI. So I was dealing with that, and then I kept feeling like I was coming down with something. I went to the doctor, I remember, on the 17th, and she prescribed antibiotics, and I also had her check my throat because I was having a little bit of a sore throat, and I told her I felt like I was coming down with something. So she checked my throat and she said it was probably just a virus. And that whole week I kept feeling like I was getting sick. I remember by Friday, I took Friday off, and I just, I told my boss, I'm just not going to come to work on Friday. I was going to be on vacation for the next 2 weeks. So I just took Friday off, and I felt sick, but not, like all the way. On the 23rd and on Christmas Eve, I was in bed all day. I was very tempted to just call off Christmas Eve and not go to our friend's house that we were gonna go, but I felt bad that I was gonna be the one to ruin everybody else's Christmas. So I just got up, and I had not ran a fever yet at that point. I just got up, I pushed through, to Diego's brother's house, and I was not feeling well. By the 26th, I was done. I was in bed with a fever, like feeling so weak, very, very, very weak. It even hurt to breathe. That's how weak I felt. So I had a teledoc appointment that day, which is something awesome that my insurance has. You pay like a $5 copay, and you have a doctor's appointment over the phone. You put all your information, why you want an appointment, and the doctor calls you within minutes. You can either have an appointment over the phone, with a phone call, or FaceTime. And then you tell the doctor your symptoms, and they'll prescribe you medication if need be, or if they think that you need to get seen in person, then they'll let you know. So at that point, I talked to the doctor. I told the doctor that everything, that I had gone to the doctor, that I was getting over a UTI, that my symptoms. And she said that at that point, I was on the 26th, that since I had already been sick for a week, for like 9 days, because I went into the doctor on the 17th, that she would rather me go and get checked, just to make sure, to get my lungs checked out, and just to make sure that that it wasn't brewing anything else. So by the next morning, on the 27th, I called first thing in the morning. I called my doctor's office, and luckily they were able to get me in right away. And she assessed my symptoms, and she said pretty much it was the flu. She advised so much against the Tamiflu that she said just pretty much write it out, write out the symptoms. You should be fine within a few days. So I just went home and straight to bed. And then Fernando started getting sick the same day. He was actually at a friend's house, and he ended up getting a fever at his friend's house, and they didn't tell me about it until way after. That was on the 26th, so he got sick the same day. He started getting sick the same day as I did. And then by the 27th, he was worse that day, so his friend's mom came by and dropped him off. And since that day, we were done. On the couch, camping in the living room. He was in one couch, I was in the other couch, and it was terrible. So that's what, New Year's Eve, we were still both sick. It was just like it came in stages, like the fever, and then headaches, and the body ache, and the weakness, and I had a lot of nausea, which is, to me, it was the worst part, because I never threw up, but it was so bad. The nausea feeling, like I didn't want to eat, I didn't want to drink. Every little movement, like it felt like I was going to throw up. It was terrible. We had a little bit of stomach issues. Fernando actually ended up throwing up a few times, and his fevers were very high. Mine were not that high, but his were. And then towards the end, I started developing like a lot of sinus pressure, and Fernando ended up getting a sinus infection, so that's why he's still home getting over that. So yeah, that was my vacation. Luckily, I had the time. I'm not, I wish I would not have gotten sick, but I'm also thankful that I had the time already requested to be off, so I was able to just be home and rest and not worry about missing work all that time. And luckily also that I had all that PTO to be able to stay home and recover. So yeah, today back to work, back to reality. Dragging today because it's hard after being off for that long to go back to work, especially since Fernando's still not 100% and he's still at home. Good thing for me is that this is my short week, even shorter. I don't work this Friday. This is my Friday off, so I only work today and tomorrow, and then I'm off on Friday. So that's what I wanted to tell you guys. That's why you haven't seen any grocery hauls on my channel. Can you guys believe that I went 3 weeks without grocery shopping? 3 weeks. I'm happy for my stockpile that I always buy extra stuff, and I always keep a lot of stuff in my pantry, because that's how we survived this whole time. Because Diego was taking care of us, but he was just like buying, like we wanted something, he would go to the store, buy that, and come back. He doesn't really do like groceries, and he doesn't really like cook, like our meals and stuff. Monday night. I had so much going on, you know, that was the first day I had gotten out of the house since the 27th when I went to the doctor. And that night Yaya came back home that night from Texas, so I didn't film. I just couldn't do it. I didn't film that night. So I'm thinking of maybe I have the footage from the last grocery haul that I filmed that I never put it up because that's when I got sick and everything. I'm thinking I might put that up just so you guys can see something, and then I'll resume my